Okay, guys, so this video I wanted to talk about why I chose to go the route I'm going with treatment. And this is a tough one for me um, because when I when I went in for my mammogram, and well, let me back up. First of all, give you just a slight background. Um, those of you who may have known me from my previous videos is I'm very all natural, kind of all natural. I like I've been vegan and gluten free for coming up on 4 years now, except for a slight where I tried to introduce a couple things back into my diet a little bit. Um, and it didn't work so well. But other than that, I've been completely vegan and gluten free for coming up on 4 years. And so, and I'm, I like natural things. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Don't do drugs. So I'm not completely all natural. Like, um, I still like certain things, like perfumes. I usually like to wear fingernail polish. Like to have my hair colored. So that, there's certain things where I'm not can't say, oh, I'm completely all natural, and everything. Um, but I tend to be very natural. I don't even take aspirin for pain unless I'm in, like, excruciating pain. Um, except for now, of course. So why, being that way, why would I choose to go with surgeries, pain medicines, chemo, radiation? And so that's a really good question, and one that was very hard for me to decide. And here's the thing. So when I first went in for my mammogram ultrasound biopsy, I didn't even know if I had cancer. There was just the, possibility. I told my husband and my closest friend, I told them that I would not be taking treatment. That my belief was you can heal your body through food and with all natural methods. And I knew this a little bit through myself from going that route through, feeling sick over the last several years and being able to juice and eat a lot of raw fruits, vegetables, things like that. Um, and eliminating a lot of things that aren't good for you. Um, I was able to really keep a lot of this at bay. And I honestly feel in my heart that that's all I did was just keep it at bay. I think it was brewing inside of me for a long time. And that's why I off and on did not feel very good. I had told my husband a couple different occasions that I always felt like I was just on the cusp of being very sick. I knew there was something wrong with me, and I felt like, by doing, all the juicing and the eating raw, mostly raw fruits and vegetables and things like that, it made me feel really good. But yet, if I deviated from that at all, I would start to decline. And so, and not in a way that I know you feel so much better. I know that, when somebody starts juicing and going vegan, gluten free, and mostly raw, that you are going to feel better overall. But it was different. I know what it's like to feel good because before my initial problem that I had that kind of started this spiral several years ago, I was healthy, so healthy. Like, I used to brag that unless I had to go to a doctor to have kids, I would have never needed a doctor because I was so healthy. Um, and then it's like that, my episode happened, and after that, I just could not get right. My body could not get right after that. And I told my husband, I just feel like everything that I do is just keeping me on the cusp of not being really sick or dying. And so I honestly feel that by doing what I did, it really kept this at bay. And I could be wrong, It's just what I kind of feel in my heart. Just knowing my body and being in tune with your body and knowing when you don't feel right and knowing when something's off. Um, Cancer, way back when I initially went vegan and gluten free, there was a little thought in the back of my head. I was like, my gosh, what if I have cancer or something? I know something's not right. I feel like I'm dying sometimes. Um, so anyway, so I had told, when this all came about, I had told my husband and I told my closest friend that I would not be taking treatment for it. That I would follow this. I'd follow different things, Garrison therapy, before when I was sick, which helped me and brought me through. Even though at that time I didn't have cancer, or don't know, didn't to my knowledge didn't have cancer. Um, it definitely helped me tremendously. And so that's what I decided. And then when I got the news, just, and they told me what was going to have to happen, I did, when they first told me I had cancer and told me what I'd be looking at. And at that point, it was just, all they knew was I had the invasive tumor, stage 1. But as far as they could tell, they didn't think any lymph nodes were involved. And that this would probably require just a lumpectomy to remove the tumor and then radiation therapy. And even then, at first I was like, oh, radiation therapy, I didn't say anything to them, but I was like, is there any natural alternatives to that? So they did give me the number for like a natural doctor, but they really, she said, you really, really, you decrease your chances of really taking care of it all if you don't follow with through with the therapy. But she was cool. She wasn't like trying to shame me or make me feel bad or anything. She, all through this, they've said, it's my decision. It's completely up to me. But then they give me the statistics. And I like statistics. Like, I like to know black and white. And I know there's many areas of gray in there, but basically, give it to me, tell me, and, then I'll decide from there. And that's exactly what they've done with me. And so I, initially I was kind of like, I'm, I, 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 I might still try to do this naturally. But then it only took me less than 24 hours. And something just told me in my heart, it was like, no, you're going to do what you're told. This is small, it's a small tumor. Your prognosis is really, really good. They're telling you if you do what we say, your prognosis is really good. Why would I risk that? Why would I? My thought was just like, if it was something where I was looking at, it was elsewhere in my body and I was going to, they were going to have to test this and this and this and this, and I was going to suffer for years. Yeah, I would probably say, you know what, either I'm going to die or I am going to just try to solve this all naturally and try to be one of those miracles, one or the other. But where I'm in that area where I'm very curable, um, curable, um, you know, very treatable, why would I even risk it? So that just came to me and I was like, I'm just going to do what they say. I'm just going to do it. And so we went in for the surgery for the lumpectomy, found out the lymph node came back. The sentinel node had cancer and it was going to be chemotherapy. It was another blow, but it was funny because in my inside I was like, okay, change of plan, no big deal. We're going to do this, and that's what we're going to do. I told my doctor. I didn't tell him, but when me and my husband were waiting in the waiting room for him to come in, I told my husband. I said, I'm going to do whatever he tells me to do. I'm at his mercy. He's a doctor, and I trust him. He has a very good reputation. Um, he certainly didn't hurt me on my first surgery, so I'm going to do whatever he says. And I told him, I did tell the doctor, I said, I want to get this done and over with. I will do whatever you say. Um, I trust you, and I want to get this taken care of. And he even, complimented me and said he had no doubt whatsoever I was going to be perfectly fine because my attitude was so good. In the surgeries, the nurses were all saying, you know, your attitude's so good. Even my manager, when I first informed her, she was like, wow. She's like, you're handling this really well. But my thought was, why, how else am I supposed to handle it? How else can you handle it? I'm not going to let it beat me up. I'm not going to let cancer beat me, hang my head and be depressed. And, I do have my moments where I do that, but I do that in private, and they're very few and far between. Um, and I'll get into that I want to do a video on emotions. Um, so, I just think, I'm going to hold my head high as much as I possibly can. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be the same person I've always been. And it is not going to beat me. I am going to beat it down. Um, I'm not sure where I was going with that. Oh, the doctor. So yeah, the doctor said, in my attitude, he was sure I was going to be fine. And so everything that comes at you, it's kind of like a whirlwind. Like everything happens really fast, and you're just like, whoa, 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 okay, 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 and phew. But I have no regrets. Like so far, I have no regrets. I I do not like the fact that the lymph nodes are gone. There's some funky stuff going on there, lack of feeling, which I don't like. It kind of feels like, you have, like when you're coming off of Novocaine. Um, I don't like that. And even my husband said yesterday, as soon as we found out the news, he was like, and he wasn't complaining, but he was just kind of like, that regret. Like he said, well, geez, they didn't even need to take the lymph nodes then. And I thought about it for a minute, and then I was like, I don't care. Um, they took them. It's done. And I know that all 10 of them are clear. I'm good. I'm fine. No regrets. It's fine. If I let myself start thinking of that, I will start regretting it. I will start letting it get me down. I'm not going to do that. It is what it is. We did what we had to do. It's done. And I'm going to move on from here. So my choice, and oh, by the way, I'm drinking my juice. This one is apple, carrot, beet, celery, cucumber. And I think that's it. Hubby made it for me. So he's been making me juices. While I've been down, he's been keeping a steady supply of juices, salads, fruits, coming through. Yes, last night I did celebrate because we got the good news. And so we just wanted to just celebrate. And so we got Thai food over to a Thai place here that makes really good Thai food, and it's all fresh, and they'll make it vegan, gluten-free for me. And so we celebrated with Thai food. I had drunken noodles, basil fried rice, and spring rolls. And so, yeah, so my juice. So I am still, I'm still juicing, still vegan, gluten-free, and yes, but I'm going to get chemotherapy and radiation therapy, and I'm going to do what the medical system tells me to do, because just in my heart, I could risk it, and I could say, and I've always been kind of privately in our home an advocate for saying, oh, the medical system, they're making money off us with all this cancer and everything, but I only have one life, and I want to hang on to it, and I want to stay here, and I don't want to do anything to risk that. And yes, I think if you are very dedicated and strong and believe in it, and know what you're doing, I'm sure you could cure cancer. I know it's been proven you can cure cancer that way. I completely get that and understand it. My choice is because I am not super experienced. I'm not that good at knowing all of that kind of stuff and what exactly you need to do. Um, I choose to trust the medical system. I choose to trust my doctor. Um, Everyone in the medical system has treated me very, very well. They are there to help me. They're trying to save my life. They are not trying to hurt me. And maybe pharmaceuticals and the medical system itself is making money off me. And I know the doctors and nurses are too, but you know what? They don't care. That they're trying to save me, and I trust them. So I am happy to do exactly what they tell me to do. Get this done and over with. Look behind me and be like, "Yep, I have some scars, but I'm good." So, and I'm not giving up on the health aspect of it. I feel that it can work very well in conjunction with each other, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I am giving my body everything it needs to fight the hardest that it can possibly fight, and at the same time trusting the medical system and doing everything that they tell me needs to be done to cure myself of this and be rid of it. So that's my choice, the path that I've taken. I don't down anybody for any other choices. I know there's people that have cured themselves naturally, and I am so proud of them and happy for them. I really, truly am. I'm just, I'm a little scared, and I want to cling to life. I want to be here for my children, and so I've chosen to um, do this path of, to work with the medical system and all naturally to have the best possible outcome I can have on the other side. So that is my course of action that I'm taking, and not trying to give anybody advice on what they should do. I certainly would hate it if anyone regretted anything like having lymph nodes removed or something like that. That's, it's painful and it's weird, it's strange. I will keep you updated on that, on the progress, like if feeling comes back and things like that as we go along. But I'm certainly not trying to guide anybody or telling anybody what they should be doing. I'm only sharing what I chose to do and why. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.